Hi, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into something pretty counterintuitive, actually. It's this idea we're calling the quiet rebellion.
Yeah.
Our mission, really, is to unpack the thinking from this one source, also titled The Quiet Rebellion. And it basically argues that the biggest, most meaningful change that they often happen silently. No big fanfare. It
Right.
kind of questions if maybe our whole approach to growth, making it so visible, is maybe flawed. Okay, let's get into this.
It's definitely provocative, isn't it? The source just grabs you right away. It says something like, the loudest changes in life don't come with fireworks, they come silently.
Exact.
And that just flies in the face of, our culture. This idea that change has to be big and loud and everyone has to see it for it to count.
Yeah, totally. And the examples it gives are so, well, relatable. Like the moment you realize you just don't want to argue anymore, or that feeling when you stop begging people to stay. Those aren't public events, right?
Yeah.
But inside, they're like earthquakes, a total recalibration of, well, of your spirit. It's fascinating how those quiet moments just shift everything.
And that internal shift, it sort of leads to this different way of thinking about self-improvement. The source puts it, says, it isn't always pretty. Sometimes it feels like disappearing.
That's powerful because we're so trained to think growth means, you know, climbing ladders, getting awards,
Yeah.
outward stuff.
But the rebellion here, the quiet part, is choosing to cancel plans, turn off your phone, let people misunderstand you, and crucially, not rushing to explain. It's about choosing your internal state over performing for others.
Yeah, choosing peace over
Yeah.
expectation. There's this line, healing isn't loud, growth doesn't post selfies. And peace whispers. And that hits hard.
It really does.
But it makes you wonder, okay, how do you actually hear those whispers? Our lives are just so noisy, so full of demands.
Well, that's where the intentionality piece comes in, I think. The source isn't just being poetic, it's kind of a call to action. It pushes you, the listener, to really look at how you define success. It argues life doesn't reward the busiest, it rewards the present. That forces you to think, okay, where's my energy really going? And pushes you towards depth over noise, stillness over chaos, discipline over comfort. It's like saying, step off the treadmill for a second.
But it often feels like being busy is the thing that gets rewarded, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Like you have to keep striving constantly. How does this idea help us deal with that tension?
I think it suggests the real rebellion isn't about multitasking and chasing external validation. It's actually about slowing down long enough to choose the right one thing.
Okay, so focus.
Exactly. Deep self-awareness and the courage to say no sometimes, to learn to, and this is another quote, take the walk, read the book, say no, learn to sit with yourself until your own thoughts feel like home. That's not just, bubble baths. It's deep self-discovery.
So the real challenge isn't maybe the noise outside, but finding the inner discipline to make that quiet space.
Precisely. And that raises a big question, right? In a world that wants your constant attention, that demands performance, can we actually afford silence?
Yeah.
The source basically says you can't afford not to. That silence isn't some luxury. It's where the real transformation happens. In those quiet, maybe unglamorous moments where you let things go, where you don't jump to defend yourself, that's where the deep shifts occur. The ones that stick.
And then you eventually realize the quiet things were always the loudest.
Yeah.
That's wow. It really brings it all together, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It suggests this journey to becoming who you really are.
Yeah.
It's often quiet. It's about stillness, making deliberate choices. And those lead to the biggest changes, the ones you feel deep down, even if no one else notices right away.
Which leaves us with a really interesting thought to maybe carry with you. It comes straight from the source. Reflect on this idea that the person you were becoming was worth the silence it took to find them. Maybe think about embracing those quiet moments, those less visible choices as really essential steps, giving yourself that space you need to, truly emerge.